Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Buenas tardes, all of y'all. What is happening, people? Brenny K in the house. And yeah, feeling good. And this isn't a Champions League show per se, but we will be talking Champions League show. Slight change, but it'll be more of a match reaction as well to our win today against Newcastle. And I'm going to introduce for the first time on my channel, we got Michael, the man. Bless you, man. How you doing?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to come on tonight, first time, and on the back of an amazing win. I'm sure, like the rest of you, was jumping up and down. I was throwing my kids about on the sofa, and they wanted me to do it another 100 times. That's the only thing you do it once. They want to do it over and over again. But a pleasure to be on after a brilliant win, a brilliant weekend. I know you guys are drinking beers, but this was definitely a Carlsberg weekend with points being dropped by all over the place. So fantastic stuff. A pleasure to be on with yourself and Nick.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome. And of course, it's been on me already. My go-to, my my younger pod brother. Actually, I'm young. Actually, Bobby's younger than me too. So yeah, we got Nick in the house. Good to see you back on again.
Hello. I'll try and keep it PG. This is my first beer in I can't remember how long. It's not kind of falling off the wagon. I just don't really drink, so I'm beering up anybody's. I'm going to be like, oh, that was the greatest win ever.
Yeah,
it's going to be great.
Okay, so if you drink that beer and then after half an hour, if we bring up the subject of Liverpool and we talk about certain players, beginning with the letter S, he's got like 2 Zs in it. And if you'd be able to pronounce it while you're slurring the words, like I
say it when I'm like that, when I'm sober. I mean, let alone when I've had a beer. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, it's great to have the two of you on.
Oh, thank you, buddy, for the invite.
It wasn't blessing, my bless. But I'll tell you where can we start? But St James's Park, we knew it was going to be a tough fixture, and I think all of us, the whole Arsenal world was waiting on who's going to be the 11, and we knew we had the squad, we knew we had the tools to beat Newcastle away today, despite what's happened there in the last couple of seasons with the 2-1-0 losses, and I felt we could get something today, but it was all about the lineup. So, Michael, when you saw the lineup, what did you think?
It's funny because the last couple of lineups, especially away from home, have come up. You had a little bit of deflation by the certain personnel that was in there, but definitely this time, seeing Eze in there was like, okay, yeah, we've got that creativity there. And Trossard was a surprise, but for me, it was like, okay, we've got some technical players in there who can keep the ball, can beat a man, and have an eye for a goal. Eze, how many shots did he have in the first half? I think Trossard hit the post. So you had guys there with a threat in that final third, whereas what we've done in the past with Arteta, what he's done in the past, he hasn't kind of showed his hand in that regard. So when the lineup came out, I thought, I'm feeling, I know Nick was confident in the chat, he's quite confident, but once the lineup came out, I thought, I think we're going to go there, we're going to stand up, and we're going to cause us some problems, and that's how it kind of transpired. Obviously, jumping ahead, but I was very happy with that lineup, Brendan. And like you said, we've got the tools now. We should have, the setup of the team as long as everybody's fit, of course. To cause a lot of headaches for opposition managers going forward now, because they'll look at that result. All the rest of them in the league will look at that result and think, we thought Arsenal were going to... This is Arsenal of last season, where Liverpool dropped points and then Arsenal stumbled over. No, this is a different Arsenal. So, really, really confident with that lineup, and looking forward to what's to come as well on midweek.
Yeah, 100%. And what about yourself, Nick? Same question. When you saw the lineup, was you happy with it?
I was. It was different to what I was saying. I would have. There was a certain player wearing the number 23 that I was like, please, just because of progression of ball, I felt we had to get at them. And I was advocating for Miles. But when I saw that he had gone for Eze, I knew that there would be a brand of football that we would go out and play, and that transpired. You know, we're going to get into all the moments, but I felt we got a performance today, even when we were behind. And I think the manager got the lineup, as you said before. I think the manager got the lineup right. He picked a good lineup, so my spirits were lifted going into it slightly.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I felt the same. Trossard, it was like I'd have rather it been Trossard than Martinelli, because Martinelli coming off the bench now, he keeps making that impression. It's like he's fighting for his place, wants to be in that starting 11, and this is how you got to do it.
I think Trossard concerns me. Sorry, Brent. I was going to say Trossard concerns me defensively, because I think people can drift past him. Like, he will be facing up a midfielder about 6 yards outside of the box, and he will allow people to go beyond him rather than track. That's the only thing that concerns me. And sometimes when he's got the ball, he will do a meandering run back to the defensive third and sometimes lose control in that area. So that's the only concerns I have with him. But we're a bit stuck on the left, I think.
Yeah, we are. And it's a shame, because if Madueke was fit today, I think Bukayo Saka would have been on the left-hand side. Madueke probably would have been on the right, Eze in the number 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I will say, with regards to Trossard, it's it was. I'll talk about him now, actually, before we go on. But Trossard today, I mean, he hit the post. He's one of those players that, on his day, he could look like prime Anders Limpar. And I agree with Bobby's narrative. When he's not himself, he does look like a Glenn Helder. And he's probably one of the most. He frustrates me more than Martinelli.
Yes.
And I mean, you know what I mean. But Michael? What's your take on Leandro Trossard? Because, like I say, on his day he can be a world beater. On another day, What's your take on him today? His performance?
Yeah, I thought apart from the effort he had, he kept things ticking over a little bit. He kept things a little bit safe. But it does go to show that the left-hand side is still a problem for us, going forward. That's the position that we all kind of wanted, as well as the centre forward. But that was the position we really wanted to be sort of solved over the summer, and it wasn't. And I think today just proved that we needed a proper outlet out there, someone that was going to produce. And it would have been great if that shot had gone in. But he is frustrating, because his numbers, his GNA numbers, are only second. He's only second to Saka in the time that he's been there. So since he's been at the club, only Saka's got more GNAs in total than Trossard. So kind of shows you what he's capable of producing, but he's just so inconsistent. He's probably likely going to go on the bench again for midweek, and then he'll come on and score. It's the sort of thing that he'll do, or get a great assist. But I think of all the outfield players, I think the left-hand side was the side that kind of weren't at the races. I'm still a little bit concerned about Calafiori. But I just think Trossard, he wasn't completely at the races, but I think he definitely did a reasonable enough job in the first half, because we did dominate them first half, apart from that goal they scored.
Yeah. And what about you, Nick, with regards to Trossard?
With Trossard, when we signed him in that January, from that January to the end of season, he was electric. He was direct running. He was unpredictable. He was fantastic. He got loads of assists, couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. And then he went into that pre-season and he was putting the ball away. He was tucking the ball away in the pre-season. And I honestly felt that he thought he had done enough to start, and he didn't start for the beginning of the season. And I think that took the wind out of his sails, and he's never been quite the same since. And he has all of the ability. And if we get ever, for a stint, get that Leandro Trossard back, we will cook. And I think that's the frustration, because he's got it all there. You know he has. He can really run, take players on. I'd love to see him get that verve back. But you're right. What you said, Bobby said there, that description, it really is. You just don't know what version you're going to get. And I think Arteta, for the reasons that Michael mentioned, that's why he tends to stay on the pitch. When I felt today, I would have possibly have subbed him off. He would have been one of the ones that made way for me, because I didn't feel like he was making much of an impact. And I think that's why you do see Arteta tend to keep him on longer than maybe he should. But hey, that's a negative on a bright day. At the end of the day, we got the 3 points. So, you know, I'd just like to see a little bit more directness from him, his old self back, and then all good.
Same here. I mean, I've always said, and Bobby as well, we've always said with Trossard, it's like it's when he's playing well, we rarely lose a game. When he ticks, the whole team ticks. And that's why I was very concerned about him today. But you know, at the end of the day, I mean, when looking at it, we got the win, and Mark's like you say, who knows, Wednesday he'll probably find himself on the bench. But I always find Trossard does turn up at Champions League games. So who knows what's going to happen?
He turns it on, but that was the thing. I would have brought on Martinelli and maybe pushed Trossard up front with Gyökeres as a front two. I think there's something in that dynamic. I just think there's a lot in our team where we are still building chemistry.
Yeah.
And I just think it's Arteta is still discovering, and so are the players. And I think just there's certain dynamics. It's like when Havertz is back, having Havertz and Gyökeres up front for the last 15 minutes of a game, and the madness that's going to cause, and the relationship that's going to form. There's loads of things like that that's going to develop over. I think we only get stronger as the season gets worryingly for the rest of the Premier League. We only get stronger the longer it goes on, personally.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Well, when in the first half today, this is a question to both of you. I mean, the way we started, I mean, for me, that was the most impressive first half before we conceded a goal that I've seen this season. And no joke, it was almost a throwback to how we were 3 seasons ago. I couldn't believe how quick we were on the break. It was just nice. Like, wow. Yeah. It was so good to see. And that's what we've wanted to see. And I pray that we'll see more of that. But then what was your guys' reaction to when we conceded the goal?
Yeah. My initial was Mosquera when he gave the corner.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh no, because it was like a real cheap corner to concede. I could see what he was trying to do. He just caught the ball wrong. He was trying to get it back to Raya, and he gave away the corner. And then I thought, I think my critique that if I could just go into the dressing room for 2 minutes and say one thing that I want the boys to take away, stop being on the deck looking at the referee to do something. It's not going to happen for you. So the way that Gabby went down, what was he expecting? A VAR reviewing them to rule the goal out? It's never going to happen for us. We don't get that. And so I felt he had that in mind rather than competing for the ball. And had he competed for the ball, that might not have been a goal. And so that was a blemish for me, for him today. And it was just a frustrating one. I felt like we created, for all of the things that were mounting up with the officiating that you could say was getting under the player's skin with the crowd and all the rest of it, we created our own demise there. I felt. What did you think, Mike?
No, I agree. It's typical. Totally dominating a team, and then their first chance, on target, it goes in, and how many times have we seen that? And the defending from Gabriel was really poor because, he was involved in the famous goal a couple of years ago when the ball went out of play, and we had, when Joe Willock ran the ball out of play, and he later on said that it was out of play, and that was when the ball was crossed in. He got pushed by Joe Linton, didn't he, Gabriel, in the back, more forcefully than he did today, and that wasn't given. So don't know what he was doing or what he was thinking he was going to get something for something that was slightly more. He was a lot softer, and that was disappointing because we know Gabriel. He's the one that stands up to the fight. He's the warrior, the leader, and he lost his head, and I think he realised he let himself down because of what he did seconds later when he sort of chucked his arm and his hand in the face of their striker. And on another day, if he goes down or whatever, another day that's a red card. So I think he realised he let himself down and got a little bit peed off and did what he did. But for me, it was just so frustrating because, as you said, Brendan, the football in the first 20 minutes was brilliant. Eze was causing
great.
Supposedly the best, midfield three in the league. Like a lot of people say, they're causing them all sorts of problems. They don't know what to do. I haven't seen Bruno or Tonali and Joneaton look as scattered as they were. They were all over the shop that first half, and that was because Eze was just. They couldn't smash him because he's as strong as an ox.
Yeah,
and he's got the ability to ride tackles and drop a shoulder and everything. And and we've been crying out for that. We've been saying that for the longest time. We wanted to see. I'll keep going back to it. We wanted to see that at Anfield. We just would love to see that at Anfield and see what people like Gravenberch and McAllister would have done. And I think he would have done the same to them. He just puts people on the back foot because of his ability, and I think that's why we dominated that first half like we did. And just so frustrating that we went down. But apart from a 5-minute spell after that, where we were rattled and a lot of decisions were going against us, I think the boys still stood up and we weren't going to just let them. We weren't going to roll over and feel sorry for ourselves. I think there was a 5-minute spell where we did, where Gyökeres was getting pulled down yet again, and the referee wasn't giving anything, and Saka was getting looked down, and he was waved his fist at the ref and proper lost it. So I think there was a spell where they looked like they were like feeling sorry for themselves, but fair play to them, man. They stood up and they totally deserved
character performance.
Yeah.
I felt, what I was saying about chemistry. It was just there was moments that I was kind of like, oh, there's something, where you were seeing Eze in the centre and just Gyökeres, the triangle between Gyökeres, Saka, and Eze didn't quite work, but you saw glimpses of that it could. There's just moments that it was just like, half a foot, a couple of inches. I mean, my man of the match for Arsenal. Well, the man of the match today was Nick Pope. It's just giving me his flowers. He kept them in it. That save from Eze. Brilliant. Oh my gosh! How that big man got down like that and pushed around the post. Fair play.
Yeah.
He
was on fire.
The Arsenal man of the match was Timber.
Yeah.
And my son made the comment. Ollie went to me. It's surprising in the final third that Timber looks more technical than Trossard. And I reflected on that, and that's a succinct point. He was beating 1 or 2 men at a time on the wing. There was a couple of times.
That's the thing. He was amazing.
Absolutely. That was no. You're mate. You say your thing. I thought he was outstanding. That was one of the best performances by an Arsenal player this season. And we will forget that because of goals and last minute and everything else. But I thought he was Ben White is a quality. I love Benny Blanco. Love him. He is my sort of right back. He can be, that shithousery and all the rest of it. I love him. But Timber, oh my gosh, that guy. He can run back. He was up against Gordon, a speedster, an awkward customer. And never did I feel like he was out of his depth. There was a couple of times, though, I do feel in transition, our defence is getting caught out of shape. So Mosquera was almost defending the box from the midfield position. And I felt like Mosquera's substitution today wasn't a reflection on his performance. It was a reflection on Gabby's performance. And so I think Arteta felt like he needed to stabilise Gabby. So he put Saliba on to get him back to his best.
That's a very good statement, because I weren't even thinking about that. And when I was on stream with Bobby and Dylan, we weren't thinking about it either, because even we were saying we hope it's not an injury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think it's a reflection on him. I know he made that mistake and he's going to be feeling a bit guilty. But let's face it, I just want to give Mosquera his flowers. Our 13 million man, he has gone to Anfield against their forward line. He has gone, he's played City at home. He's gone to, and now he's gone to St. James's Park. And as the team, if you're talking about away days, we've got Tottenham and White Hart Lane because of the North London derby being what it is. But if you talk about other places you've got to go, St. James's Park, Old Trafford, and Anfield are the three of the toughest matches to go and play. I know City might be the toughest 100%. Team. That's a second. That's a different conversation. Yeah. And you've got the bridge and all the rest of it. But they are the three that is a difficult atmosphere to go and play. Aside from Tottenham for derby reasons, we've done 3 of them already in our first 6 games, and we're 2 points off the top.
Yeah, exactly that. And before we go on, AFC always this guy, man, he's an absolute legend, I tell you. And he's always, whenever we're always in chats. You've probably been in chats with this guy as well, but he's always putting in a lot of facts. And Brenny K and panel, big up to you, my friend.
Oh, his comment then, I agree with him as well. Rice looked so much better when he went into that 6th row.
Yeah,
I completely agree. That I said that, didn't we say in the preview? I said Rice needs to have a good game today. Yeah, and there was a couple of times he ran back and when he made that run back to our box, was it the second half?
Yeah, with Harvey Barnes.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's our guy. I mean, almost sound like Arteta, guys. You feel that? For me, I'd have Rice in a 6 all season. What about yourself?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Absolutely. What do you think, Mike? Because I think Zubi is really. I think Zubi's better in the final third than Declan.
Yeah. There were a lot of times in the second half. There were a lot of times in the second half where it looked like Rice. Well, in the first half also as well, where Rice was sort of in the 6 and Zubimendi was just sort of further forward. And I would just like to see them play in a proper double pivot.
Double pivot, that's what I thought we was going to do this season.
And that enables both of them to do what they're doing, and maybe that's what they were doing. To be fair, I think again, so there were times where Zubimendi was, beyond Rice, and we know what Zubimendi can do. He can pick a pass. He really can pick a pass. Whereas Rice is more of a runner with the or runs onto stuff. Where in that particular position. So I think we, as you said, Nick, about getting past these away games, these tough away games. Zubimendi has got past these tough away games in first, couple of games in the Premier League, and he's not really looked out of it apart from, let's say, the game at Old Trafford where it was the first game of the season and it was maybe a bit much for him. Obviously, he gives away the foul for Anfield, but bar that, I think he's been fine. So, but we'd like to see them continue to do what they did today, whereas like they were just sort of taking turns just to go beyond the other. But yeah, I think Rice grew into the game. Yeah, and I love the little run he made as well when Odegaard found him as well. When when he was in the left 8 position as well later on. So yeah, he was a slow.
Few good balls as well.
Yeah. So it was good stuff.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I mean, one sec. What we got here? Also got Newcastle Bullets in the second half.
I don't. For me personally, I don't go with that one so much. I mean, you're entitled to your view. I respect other people's opinions. That one isn't so much for me. They did get about us, but I felt we stood up. For me personally, we're not the team of a few years ago.
Yeah, you got to look at the stats as well. I mean, they show the stats up on there. You can see them obviously wherever you want, but the stats that show that Sky at the end. I mean, you look at that and everything was on our. You know, was showing that we were by far the better team. Pope, like you said, was probably man of the match because of the saves he made.
Yeah,
you know, goalkeeper doesn't get man of the match if he has nothing to do, does it? So
no.
But I thought, there was a spell, like you said, start of the second half, right at the start of the second half. I think they almost got in,
right.
Offside goal and everything. And but I think over the whole course of the game, I think even Eddie Howe said, Arsenal we were a level above, and he kind of didn't want to give us too much praise, but said, we weren't at the races today, and there was a reason why you weren't at the races, because you were playing a team that was better than you. So, and with this sort of fake rivalry they want to build up with us, he didn't want to sort of give us our flowers. Fair play, but I think after barring a 10-minute spell, start second half, I think we literally dominated that game so much. We should have been out of sight. It should have been a 4-1 easily. When you look at the chances.
Calafiori for me has looked better in terms of, when a player's running at him, he doesn't look so jerky.
Yeah.
Last year, his first season, he was he was trying too hard. A bit like how I think Eze's just got to start being Eze once he feels like himself in the team. And he was very like a player could stand him up. Do you know what I mean by saying? It's just and make him look a bit awkward. That's been less this year. I thought he's done well over the course of those 6 games. I think he's been solid for what he's a big unit. He's a left-sided centre back. He's not a left back. Hincapié is going to own that position. I want to see Miles start getting these minutes in midfield for me rather than left back. He does well, Miles. I love Miles. I am a big fan of Miles. Want that kid to have a stellar career. I just don't. If you're not going to use him at left back, because I would have quite happily continued with him, give him minutes in midfield. I want to see him take Marino's minutes and Calafiori battle it out with Hincapié as a dual rotation.
Yeah. Oh, 100% agree with that. And also,
there we go. Agree with that one.
See, always with Timber was man of the match.
Yeah.
Because for me, I think I gave Timber an 8, and I gave Eze an 8, and
I love
both
Eze's
of them were good
performance
today. Me too. I mean, we'll get onto him in a bit as well. But as for anyone that's watching now, anyone's more than welcome to join on. Like the Army TV, this is a family channel, and anyone's welcome to join. Anyone is. Right, guys, got to bring this up. Was it or was it not a penalty? I will start with you, Michael.
Yes.
Feelings on that?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was a penalty for me. It's so frustrating because last week, Man United, Chelsea, the same thing happened. In terms of the outcome of it, when Bremo goes through, Sanchez takes him out, but Sanchez actually gets a bit of the ball. If you look at the video, he does touch the ball first before he takes out Mbeumo, and he gets sent off for it. So basically, the same thing happened today, and the referee decides it's not a penalty, and 2, now it's like, okay, he played the ball first. Well, no, he didn't play the ball first because Yorker has kicked the ball onto your foot.
Yeah.
He actually touched it. He played the ball onto his foot, so it wasn't like So it was just a game. It was just a ridiculous situation where we just get ref differently, and people saying, "Oh, Arsenal fans are conspiracy theorists and stuff like that." We get ref differently because something that happened a week ago won't apply to Arsenal, but something that will apply to Arsenal won't apply to the next team that happens the week later.
Mike.
That's exactly it happens every season.
Yes,
it literally a week ago. The same thing happened when Saliba got sent off against Bournemouth.
Yeah,
the same thing happened the week later. I think it was at Tottenham. I think it was someone went through and it was high up the pitch as well. And they said, "Oh no, just giving me a yellow card." I think it was Van der Ven. I'm not sure, but you know, and that was a week later. It was exactly the same situation. But Saliba gets sent off, and obviously we know the reason why, because Howard Webb was in the stand with his earpiece on and talking, you know, listening to VAR and stuff like that. And so we just get ref differently, and it was just frustrating. I was thinking, are they doing this again? They've done us a couple of years ago at St James's Park, and they're doing it again. And, it's just amazing. And for me, the penalty, you know, for all of a sudden now, guys, if someone makes wins the ball but takes the player out, it's not a foul. That's basically what they're saying now. But we know next week, if that happens in midfield, that happens in the last third. If that happens, someone wins the ball but cleans someone out. Oh, it's going to be a free kick. You know, they just make it up as they go along. And I've got a big issue with Pogba. And
I'm with you.
I've had it on my strap, you know, for the last couple of seasons. I've taken it off, but I'm going to put it back on again. They're not fit for purpose. They really are. They've been shocking this weekend. Some of the decisions in other games. The Liverpool game, you know, Salah handballs it. The game today, I think there's a couple of penalty shots in the Villa game today. Fulham got robbed. It's just a mess, Brendan. It's an absolute mess. But sorry, I've gone on. See, you shouldn't ask me about. You shouldn't ask me.
No, this is it's valid stuff, pal.
It's not.
But yes, it was a penalty. It was a penalty.
I love it, man. Just keep on going. I mean, we've got to say it's not. You know, there's no time limit on here. I mean, unless we're going to bed at 10:30, which we're not. So listen, I love it, man. Freedom of speech here on this channel. Freedom of speech. Yeah. So you carry on, my friend.
No, for me, it's a penalty. Gary Neville and everyone that, you know, on the commentary was saying, yeah, that's a penalty. And then they slowly started to change their minds and start reconfiguring the game. All of a sudden, you can win the ball and take someone out. Whereas seconds ago, it was like Stonewall penalty. We've seen them before, but, you know, and it's just the way they keep changing the narratives. And it's because it's us. It's because it's Arsenal. That's the only reason. You will see the same thing happen next week, and it will be given as a penalty and a red card. And he saw it the week before at Man United, and Sanchez got sent off, and it's just crazy, man. It should have been a penalty and the red card, but it's Arsenal, so we can't make it that easy for us.
Yeah, I hear that. What's your take on that, Nick?
I mean, I could just repeat. I mean, I'm taking the baton off him. There we go. I've got the baton, the VAR. VAR, I'm just going to say AFC always says VAR's not the problem, it's the people that are doing it. And that is 100%. It is the case of, if you don't want to be the tea boy, make bad tea. And it is that sort of thing with them. I was on the walk before doing this stream with my son, and we were talking about it, and I managed to put it in the right thing. The mental gymnastics they do to justify decisions now has basically mean that they can create a situation with officiating that will fit any narrative at any given time now, because we do not know what's handball, what's not handball, what's ball to hand. Do you remember that as playing? We played football for generations where the ball could go to hand, because anyone who's played football knows when you go in for a challenge, your arms are out to limit your impact on it's subconscious, to limit impact on the ground. You stiffer your upper body to protect your spine, and your arms are out by your side for balance, right? Now it's all of this, like if you try to tackle how they are trying to say you have to, your arms would be beside your body, and no man ever has gone into a slide tackle like that. It's absolute BS. They are corrupt. I'm going to say what's in my heart and tell my truth. I do not believe that they are fit for purpose. We have issues at every level of our society. I think what's in the PGMO and what's going on in the VAR is an absolute disgrace, not just for Arsenal fans, across football with this. It is across football. We have got this fantastic game, and fans deserve consistency, transparency, and accountability. That's what we deserve. And I think there was a thing that was posted to the WhatsApp chat where it was attributed to Saka. I don't know if it was actually said, but VAR's supposed to be for clear and obvious. If it's taken the referee that long to look at a penalty to decide whether it's a penalty or not, then it's not clear and obvious. What a VAR doing in his ear?
Yeah, he pretty much said that. I think there was a bit at the end that they've added, but it was pretty much, he said that. He said that.
It's disgraceful. And not just from an Arsenal point of view. The whole thing about kicking the ball away. It's almost like when the racism was ruling F1 and Lewis Hamilton. Do you remember all of that at the beginning of Lewis Hamilton's career? About going outside track limits and having to concede the position. It was because he was a black driver doing well. Let's say it how it is. And then all of a sudden, the rules changed and people started conceding because they had made a precedent with Lewis Hamilton. And it is like that with Arsenal Football Club to a degree. Oh, they've kicked the ball away. That's a red, that's a second yellow red. It was whatever they could do to bang us over the head with. Next week, or even the same weekend, it happens. The referee's got no intention of pulling a card out.
Yeah.
It is.
It's funny, it's so true. And it's funny you just mentioned Lewis Hamilton using an example there. True story. My granddad and his granddad were first cousins.
Okay.
Hey, royalty.
Never met him. Never met him.
Right.
But
Paul Moore, and an Arsenal fan too.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But my dad used to tell me a load of stories like when before myself and Damos were born about they would always go around with my granddad's. They'd be there slapping dominoes, playing games, and it would be like my granddad, and it would be Lewis's granddad. Then he had another man who was, I think it was Mr. Jones. He used to live up in North London. And he said those were days. And my dad said Anthony Lewis's dad was only a teenager.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? At the time when he'd be around there, you know what I mean? So yeah. But claim to fame where I've not met the fame. So even though we're family, but it's a true story. But maybe one day, who knows? Yeah, this Newcastle result means nothing if we don't beat West Ham next week. Yeah, so true. And also, it's funny, isn't it?
Again.
Where it's funny, isn't it? Where there's a new manager bound. It's going to be quite tasty next week because we're at home, aren't we? So we've already we've got the monkey off our back with regards to winning at Newcastle first time since 2022-23 season. West Ham have beaten us for the last couple of
2 seasons
home games.
At home game,
it's something that we've got to put right, and hopefully the new manager bounce. Hopefully it just won't come into effect next week. You know what I mean? Oh, big up, fear the cannon. And that's
don't you feel we always face the best version of a team?
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Newcastle could be toilet, or Chelsea can be absolute rubbish. They play Arsenal a week later, and all of a sudden they're like prime Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? It always feels we play the best version of whatever team we face.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, guys. Just to announce again. Please like, share, subscribe to Fear the Can. That's Dylan. He's got his new channel up as well. So please like, share, subscribe to them out a day. And big up for earlier on today as well. We had a great stream. I mean,
Dylan, stick your link in the chat.
You know what I mean? Yeah, please do. You know, please do, mate. So yeah, do you guys see the clips making going around X Martinelli? Martinelli shot that hit Newcastle player's hand. I haven't been on X. I haven't been on X since not since morning. So I'll have to have a look at that. Have you guys seen it?
I saw a quick replay of it, but I didn't really see what was going on. There's stuff going on in the house with the kids at the time. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that was quite dodgy, and they just show a quick replay, don't they? And they just scoot on with it. It's like it's like the Gabriel, the handball supposedly at the end, and I was like laughing. I was thinking, as you were saying, Nick, I've never seen anyone go in a slide tackle and their arm not be out for balance to stop them. Going there like a penguin or something. That's what they kind of, or you're like on a toboggan, in the Olympics, Winter Olympics, going down, your arm's always out to give you balance, and
right.
They're I'm in an iron over it. Oh, it looks like he could be in trouble here, and I don't care what anybody says. I mean, I'm going into PGML rant again, but I don't care what anyone says. But those people in Stockley Park, they get feed of the football, of course, but they definitely get a feed of the commentary of the game. They can hear what's being said, because you only have to listen to the way Gary Neville.
I was going to say this point as well.
It's only the way that they communicate and the way they say things. It's almost like they're putting their point.
They're informing, aren't they?
It's like they're putting their point across to the, because what's the argument? What's the argument that everybody says? Oh, you know what? You know what would make PGML better and VAR better is if they've got ex-pros in there helping them make decisions and helping them, giving them part. So what's Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher doing when they're talking like that to something to this audio which is going pipe through Stockley Park? They're giving, as an ex-pro, their information or their.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
Their what's the word? Their point of view of that situation, and that's what they're doing.
They are framing the optics, aren't they?
Yeah, and they do it all the time. You can just see the way that they start. They do the normal co-coms, the normal punditry when the game's going on. But when something like that happens and it goes to VAR, the way that they deliver what they say, it changes. It's like they're having a conversation, and they're in that freeway. They're in that. It's meant to be two-way conversation. They're in a freeway conversation with the referee.
I agree with you.
Them, and you can see, he looks like he's in trouble here. I've never seen anyone go into a slide tackle with their arms straight down like that. Their arms are always out to give them balance. I don't get it, but
exactly.
Ball to hand used to be a thing, and common sense. There is no common sense in this officiating.
That's
I
crazy.
don't even know if they play football. I don't even know if they play football
challenge as well. I thought it was a great challenge. But thank you, AFC. Always appreciate that. You know what I mean? But it's what you were talking about earlier on, Nick. Yeah, exactly that. And I agree. And it is the people who are doing it. I think one of the worst decisions I'd ever seen. Funny enough, it was Liverpool. I know there are those at Liverpool when they do get the rubber green at times, but I think, when was it? Was it not last season? Season before at White Hart Lane, there was a decision that went against them, and I actually felt for them because I thought I've never seen anything like that. It was a goal. I think it resulted in a goal that should have stood, but it didn't. So I thought that was a really, really, really strange decision. And it's like you say, it's the people we've got to have. I mean, just on the subject of VAR, obviously in light of what's happened today with regards to the penalty. I mean, don't you think that with VAR, it should be, if it's former players, I wouldn't. This is my take on it, and I'll ask you guys. I wouldn't employ former Premier League players.
No, I was going to say Conference League 2.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say, Conference League 2 myself, even League 1. What's your take on that? Would you prefer something like that? I'll ask you first, Nick.
Wholeheartedly. I would love it to be Conference League 2, League 1. People that do not support clubs in the Premier League. I'm sorry, we're all human. Just because I'm an Arsenal fan, we have integrity and professionalism, but in the culture that they exist and the environment that they exist in, that is behind closed doors, we don't see how these group of people interact and how they communicate with each other and who they belittle and who they get laddish and ego about and all of those other toxic male personality traits that come out. Are they professional enough to take bias out of it? And if I was an Arsenal fan, could I then go and officiate a Newcastle or let's say Liverpool versus Palace and not give a penalty that might help Palace? And then indirectly help my own team? Do we not think this goes on? Oh, we're not going, but I won't officiate Arsenal games. but I can then officiate their opponents. Make that make sense.
Yeah.
Because then I go home and I live in that area and I live with those people and all the rest of it. I'm sorry, it's too much. You remove them. You remove any chance. If you deal with risk, as I do in my career, you have to mitigate risk, and you have to let you do a you like a HACCP, and you go in and you do your risk assessment and everything drills down. You put in controls. Sometimes you can't control every single risk, but you mitigate. You put stuff in, infrastructure in to help lower the risk. And if there is a high percentage that these things come in, then you should be changing it. But what they do, they turn around and they say, oh, but this referee is an elite referee and he's got this grading and this, that, and the other, and he's the best in the country. And everyone goes, oh, he's the best in the country. He's the best in the country. He's the best in the country. Yeah. No, he's not. He's absolutely rubbish. But just because he's got this grade that they gatekeep so that not many people have it, everyone else has got to bow down to it. In my opinion, referees that go out and they do a job on a Saturday or Sunday, they should only, within reason, they should be fit to referee any single game in the tier. You're not guaranteed Premier League football just because you should all be at the level. You raise your base and you raise everything up to the audit standard, as it were. So that becomes your basic DNA. So you don't have referees down here because football is football. You raise everybody up to the same level. And then it's harder to corrupt and change and influence when you've got 100 people plus. What is it in a given week? 200, 100 maybe in rotation. Games in the pyramid. But if everybody is raised at that level, there should be no distinction between a League One or a Premier League. If everyone pays into the pot and everyone's going to get a referee, doesn't matter where the referee goes. And this is the sort of stuff and the sort of conversation. We've got to stop letting them control this narrative and framing these optics that suit themselves. Many people, there should be lots of pros involved with VAR and all the rest of it, but the overall standard and what is happening in refereeing needs to be reviewed. And this is something that I'd like the new government ombudsman, would like to get to grips with and have an influence on. Over to you. Sorry, that was my moment, but
it's all good, man. It's all good. I mean, what about yourself, Michael? Same question.
I agree with Nick. I think it needs to. There needs to be more of a faster track to get people from from a certain level up to the level that's supposedly meant to be the best level. In England, in terms of refereeing, I think they should be paid more. So you don't, and there should be bonuses. There should be, incentives in terms of how good they perform. Yes. There should, because I think if you have that, then you will get people trying to officiate, more with more integrity and transparency. And I think obviously that goes with VAR and everything else. That needs to be more transparent. Yeah. The whole announcing to the crowd thing is just silly to me. It's just a gimmick. It's just how the web wanted to make the referees a centre of attention again. But for me, there's lots of different ways that you can make it a little bit more, because it's a mess at the moment. It really is. There's no diversity in terms of it as well. Yeah, you're telling me all these like top referees are come from up north. You're telling me there aren't people. There aren't people in the rest of the country that could officiate games. It's just like a little mafia that they've got, really. And I think Sir Alex was the main head of that sort of organisation, and you see now things have happened with Man United now that they're not getting a leg up like they used to. But no, I think the way things are going, I'm surprised. I think Wolves a couple of years ago, didn't they? They tried to get VAR removed and nobody voted with them. And I'm sure if it comes around again, I think there'll be a few more clubs. I think Fulham, for example, have been absolutely done by some shocking officiating this season. But I just think they're not fit for purpose. They really, really aren't. And I think it's going to come to a point. It's going to come to a head where something really bad is going to happen, and the club's going to end up maybe not taking them to court, but just putting an appeal in about the actual standards of officiating, and that, you know, I was surprised to be honest. That's why I've kind of got putting my conspiracy hat on. When Liverpool had that goal disallowed, when Diaz scored that goal and it was disallowed or whatever offside, a lot of people were saying, well, yeah, that's it, Liverpool going to win the league now because of what happened. And obviously they didn't, because they fell off, didn't they, in the latter half of the season. But I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool had lost the league by a point, let's say, and it went back to that game. Yeah. What's stopping Liverpool from saying, "Oh, we're going to take you to we want conversation because we would have won the league."
Exactly.
And it's going to take something like that to happen. Maybe it might before something's done. Before a club actually says, "You know, we're going to take you to Howard Webb and you're lot to court because it's not fit for purpose." But you know, let's see what happens. Like I said in the chat, sadly, we've got to try and make these referees irrelevant, like we did with the 02, 03, 04 sides, where we used to win games by half time. And it didn't matter what was it Paul Durkin at the time tried to do, sending off Petit and all that stuff like that, and we already won the game by then.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we're going to have to resort to this season. Just take it out of their hands. Take it out of their hands.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, when okay, for example, obviously VAR didn't exist all them years ago, but when I was growing up watching football, there wasn't as much live football as there is now, and you'd obviously had to go grounds, you know, go Highbury or go to where, because I went to a few grounds back in the day. So when Liverpool, I'll give you an example, when Liverpool dominated the 80s, and then you had Everton that came in and they won, like they were like winning a league title. It's like 85 it was Everton, 86 Liverpool, 87 Everton, 88 Liverpool, and then us in 89. Now, when watching games, any games, it didn't matter if you was on a 10, 11, 12, 13, you was on an unbeaten run and all the luck was going with you. Referees and linesmen still did their job. They didn't care less where they were. If it was Anfield, Old Trafford, Highbury, well, you know, Wilding, they didn't care. Everton, when they were decent, Goodison Park, it was fair as fair. Because I'll tell you something, when I look back at, you know, when Alan Smith scored that the first goal when we won at 2-0 in 89, right? Okay, when you look at another angle, he did head it. He did get a touch to it. Yeah. Now, because of how things are nowadays, if that had been with the referees and linesmen, if this had been, say, between now and 5 years ago, I think I wouldn't be surprised if that goal was disallowed, even though VAR would clearly see Alan Smith glance it in. You know what I mean? It's just with the officials, you know, the VAR officials, linesmen, referees. I think that goal wouldn't be given, and it'd be a case of, well, that's more controversy, isn't it? Because it'd be like, well, no, he clearly headed in. It should have been allowed. But what I'm trying to make is, even without VAR, I think it was the referee at the time. Was it Martin Atkinson back in 89? But that ref, that ref couldn't care less where he was at, and the linesman, they couldn't care less. They were at Anfield. You know, they were at the ground of the best team in England at the time.
Yeah.
So they had no hesitation. I mean, they gave the goal. But then I think
the character.
But had the shoe been on the other foot and it was Liverpool and it was a goal, then I think they would have given the goal. So referees back then, I can never remember going into middle school or high school, us moaning about referees. On Monday, you're in school, you're talking about, you know what I mean? You're talking about the football for the weekend, and it's like, never a conversation. That referee, man, got it. Oh, what's up with him? He got it wrong, innit? Oh, well, that stupid linesman. There was none of that.
Linesmen are practically pointless now under this new system. It infuriates me when you can see a play that is clearly offside, and then there is a passage of play that happens, and I'm convinced that players are going to get injured one of these times because it is a scramble usually, and a challenger, just put your freaking flag up. You can clearly see it's offside, flag it. I hate this next passage of play that goes on.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with VAR and PGMO, they have been able to now just completely create their own narrative, and then they go out and frame the optics, and all of their media partners fall into line. All of the mouthpieces that are employed by those media partners all fall into line, unless it's really atrocious, and then they get some kickback. Enough's enough. We need to liberate football from these people. We really do.
Totally agree, mate. Totally agree. But guys, this question here for yourselves from AFC about when was the last time under this manager we went on a 10, 11, 12 winning streak run? Was it in the
23, 24?
Yeah, wasn't it after the
second half of the season of 23, 24?
Yeah. No, we lost to Villa, didn't we? We lost to Villa, and then
but we went from Christmas to Villa, didn't we?
Yeah, I think in that run, didn't we have we had not just a loss to Villa, but I think before we also had a draw at City, which we actually had the best chance of the game in that match. But in that 0-0. But I cannot remember how many games it was exactly. I thought maybe it was about 9 or 10 before we drew at City, and then I think we may have won maybe another 2 or 3 games before we lost at Villa. I'll have to look that up, but I think that was the last time we did have a double figure winning streak in the league, wasn't it? Really, because I think last season it was more draws than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think this side though, they're capable of going on a run.
Oh yeah,
very
100%. I'm not worried about our opponents. I'm worried about the officiating.
Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. You know what I mean? And the only how we can beat that is just, you see, with West Ham next week, if we can be 3-0 up half time,
it's done.
It's done. And then what are they going to do? Because I've noticed that with officials, you probably noticed this as well over the last few years. When we have been cruising in games, or with an hour gone, we're 3-1 up or 4-1 up. I've never seen referees
influence.
How can I say this? Referees dick us around, if that's a word I can use.
They leave us to it.
You know what I mean? I've not seen it, but I've only seen it.
The 0-0s, 1-0s. Yeah.
If it's exactly that. Yeah. But no, it's I do agree. I mean, as long as we keep battering our opponents, officials will get sick of us anyway. That's what I feel. But
hopefully,
they'll get sick of us. You know what I mean? Thank you very much. And then that's to sub to Dylan, please.
Dylan,
give him that love, give him that support. No, you're very welcome, my friend. And we had a great time earlier on. I mean, we could say it was a great time because we ended up winning the game. So
absolutely,
you know what I mean. But yeah, nice one, Nick. Oh, bless.
Yeah, I'll sub straight after.
You know what I mean? So what's that? Yeah, man. What's this?
So on the had you lost faith, guys? By the time we were heading towards the first goal, was you losing faith, or was you still feeling like we're going to get something here?
When we conceded, when we conceded the first goal.
So we've conceded now second half, and just before, on the build up to our first goal, was you feeling like the game was gone, or was you watching that thinking like, I still fancy us to get something?
Do you know what? Yes, I thought it was. I thought the game was gone, but then I was thinking, I mean, we were probing, and I thought, where are we gonna get a goal from? But as soon as we equalised and Gabriel made that crunching tackle, I don't know why that I don't know why that they had a look at that, to be honest with you, because it was never a pen. But then I thought, nah, with the time we had left, I thought, no, we can get something. So I didn't think we were going to get anything before the first goal, and then I felt we can get a winner here after we'd scored. I mean, what about yourself, Michael? It was a good question.
Yeah, I kind of felt like confident, as I said, with the lineup, and then even when we had to concede the goal, I actually felt no, okay, right, we're still in this, and even when I was looking at the time, I remember looking at the clock, and it was like 75 minutes, and I was thinking, oh, you know, I still didn't think, oh, this is it. We're not gonna. I can't see us getting through, and you know, I just felt confident, and maybe it was because of the weekend. You know, there was so many late goals, like, you know, left, right, and centre. You know, in a lot of games, even the City game, I think there was 2 goals in the 90th minute, and then obviously we know the Palace game and Tottenham game. I mean, has anyone seen Paulinho? Has he finished his open top bus tour? Because he ripped his shirt off and looked like he won the league for Tottenham and the way he was celebrating. But no one said nothing about that.
No one said anything.
Nobody said anything about the 10-man defence from City to defend the 1-0. Nobody said anything about that.
A draw at home against Wolves, you know, who've not got a point all season. The guy ripping his shirt off and running into the crowd. No one said nothing about it. No one's talking about their mentality, but then it is Tottenham, isn't it? But no, I thought with all the late goals in the week, I just kind of thought that we were going to get something, even if it was an equaliser or it was going to be a winner. So it's good. It's good to feel that way, because especially against, you know, Newcastle. And what it means.
Another question.
Yes, mate.
With the team showing signs of them not knowing when they were beaten, let's face it, we lost to a world-class free kick, but I don't feel Liverpool dominated or beat in that sense. I haven't seen the team be dominated yet this season. With a team that doesn't know it's when a team doesn't know it's beaten, and in the manner of how and what we've done to City to get that draw, and how they reacted, first time we've ever seen a City like that, and how we've at St James's Park, we have come back in the manner that we have. What do you think that does to the team's psyche moving forward, and what message does that give to the Premier League, to both of you, right?
Well, I'll let you go on first on this one, Mike.
All right. I said it. I think I said it earlier. I just think everyone will sit up and take notice, because everyone in the Premier League looks at what everyone in the Premier League does. Everybody saw us take long throws against PSG in the semi-final at the Parc des Princes, and all of a sudden, everybody in the league is taking long throws. All of a sudden, have you noticed that? You know, we're getting the ball more directly upfield for David Wright. Everyone's doing it in the league now. You know, so they will look at what we've done. The narrative was Liverpool have dropped points. It's over to Arsenal after the narrative of Arsenal must win something this season, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. It was all set up for us to drop points again.
Yeah.
The fact that we did what we've done and the way that we've played, and they'll look at all the metrics, they'll look at the shots on target, the XG, everything else, the passes, the touch in the box, all the stats people at City, at Liverpool, will pour all over that and think, Jesus Christ, you know, Jesus Christ, we've got a problem on our hands here. Because if they keep 70% of that squad fit, if we keep 70-80% of that squad fit, the rest of the league are in trouble. Yes. Seriously, because the confidence of that win, and you saw the way the boys were at the end.
Yeah,
it has to mean that, you know, we're here for it. We're not. This isn't last season. This isn't the season before. This is it now. We're going to get over the line, and I think it's just going to that is a statement win. I don't care what anybody says. That is a statement win today.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, 100%. But and I echo exactly what you said. You know what I mean? But listen, we've got Dylan in the chat. How you doing again, my friend?
I'm good. How is things, everybody?
How you doing? Nice to see you, buddy.
We're all good. We're all good, man. We're all good. I'm glad you're here. Actually, I just want to clock on. I've put it up for a while, but what AFC always was saying, and you know what? It's just, you know something. It don't matter if you're Arteta in or Arteta out, or you're on the fence. You don't call a fellow Arsenal fan a plastic fan. It's unacceptable.
No.
I'm not into that. You know what I mean? You don't do that. And I've been told in the past I'm not an Arsenal fan because I don't support Arteta. But what's more important is that I support the club.
Yes,
I support the club more than anything. The club is the star. You know what I mean? And I will. And if Arteta proves me wrong, I will back him. I will back up. But more importantly, I always back the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's manager? You know what I mean? Tiger manager, and I would still back the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and he showed that commitment. He's left. So what? He left the ground on the 60th minute against Port Vale. Drove 4 hours there, and what I saw, and it's like, and what did he see? And he was correct about this at the time. It was garbage. I mean, you know, it's funny how we had a better performance today than we did on Wednesday against Port Vale. You know what I mean? And this is how exactly. And we've all been Arsenal fans. We've supported Arsenal fans. We've been Arsenal fans for a very long time. And regardless of whether you've been an Arsenal fan 10 years, 10 minutes, we're Arsenal fans at the end of the day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And this is the thing. And you'll get fans that you get them on streams as well. There's quite a few, I'm not going to name them, that we've seen who you think, are they Arsenal fans or not? But I'm not going to call them out. But it's the ones that I would call out are the ones that, you know, when they talk about history, like there was one fan in particular, you'll probably know who this is. And he thought that we won the League Cup 5 times.
Yeah.
You know, it's things like that. You know what I mean? And read your history, follow your history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, and that was, and me as an Arsenal fan, that was the first trophy I'd seen us win. I mean, I've been a fan since '83. So yeah, and that was the first thing. And Anfield '89 was my favourite moment as well. You know, and like AFC, I think quite a few of us have seen 5 league titles.
Yeah.
And that's still my favourite title win today as well. You know what I mean? And 5 league titles, like, yep. Oh,
I would have said for me, the Invincibles was my favourite, only because I was a little bit too young for the '89. I understand the gravitas of it now. I'm a bit older, and when I got a bit older, but for me, in my development as a person, the Invincibles was my one.
Yeah, you know what? It's my favourite moment is Anfield '89, but the Invincibles team. Do you know what? You know what team I actually thought was better than the Invincibles? Just maybe it's because I know we was unbeaten that season, but it was that 2001-2002 team. Yeah, what an exciting team that was! And to be honest, we should have been invincible then because we'd only lost 3 home games. 3 home games, and they were freakish results. Leeds, Newcastle, Charlton, you know, and we were unbeaten away from home. So, you know what I mean? But Dylan, while you're here, what did you think about today's game?
First half was absolutely brilliant. Like, it was so enjoyable to watch. It was like watching like Arsenal 3-4 years ago. They're just free flowing. Like, you know, the first 15 minutes of the game, they were banging in 1 or 2 goals. It was so nice to see. Then they scored, and it was like 10 steps backwards. It was just like it was the same old as what it was the last couple of weeks, like. And as obviously time was on, I think it was Nick that asked the question. He said, "How did you feel? How did you feel?" Like, well, how I felt like that was it. I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I just felt so defeated. Like, it was just, obviously we got the goal and we got the win of it, but I don't know.
watching that stream, I mean, did you feel though, watching that stream with myself and Bobby, that Nick mentioned it earlier, that we wasn't going to get anywhere at 1-0 down before we equalised?
No, I didn't think. I thought I was going to finish 1-0, to be honest. I thought that was kind of it. Obviously, I'm glad we scored. Not too happy to the goal score, because I'm not Mourinho's biggest fan. I don't hide it either. But obviously he scored, and then obviously Big Gabby got the winner, which is he had a very weird game today. He
did, didn't he? I was talking with my boy, and I said, we was talking about gradings, and I said about Gabby, I was like, things that he'd done kind of marked him down, and then getting that goal kind of marked it back up. It was one of those. It was had he not got that goal, he was going to get some choice words, a bit of a more And it was almost like that washed away a lot of sins. But I felt, as I said earlier in the stream, I felt that's why Saliba was brought on to stabilise Gabby, because he needed that in that moment, rather than Mosquera's performance. So,
well, I still think Mosquera played okay though.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely, I do. I know he conceded that corner, but that aside, and a couple of positional things that I think when they review the game, they will kind of be talking to him like how he was defending them, coming back. He needed to be, But other than that, we've got one there, guys. We have got a player there.
Well, he's coming into a new league, new team, really young. It's only I know they always say, you can't give him time to adapt, and he has to, learn this and that. But for him being so young, it's baffling. It's how good he is,
and
that's my opinion. Yeah.
100. But guys, while we're just chatting there, I mean, I've just let's see, you know what? It's someone else mentioned that as well. Not going on Jez's channel for that though, but I mean, I have taken part in the quiz before with Bobby, and I was the top scorer. And I think
say that with a bit more chest, Brenny. Come on.
Stop trying to
come on.
Talk to the Emirates, man. It's far better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Jeez. I question it and I answer it. But but no, it's Kenny Ken. When I've watched him on quizzes, and he's just something else. He's just incredible, and I'm like, who knows? One day it could happen, but he's got knowledge. I mean, I know he's only a couple of years older than me, but he's got knowledge, man. I mean, well. But you know what? I'd give it a go if I was ever invited on there. I mean, Jez has watched us before on the Armory, so But you see, what I love about Jez's channel is the history. He knows so much about Arsenal history, and I've always been interested. I've watched all his history shows. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I mean, I've been reading history books on Arsenal and football from when I was like 10 years old.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, but no, I appreciate that. And man, that was we spoke about this days ago. And you know what? Big up to the Arsenal today for the armbands.
Yeah, black armbands.
Black armbands. I mean, that was just.
We got him the win
as well, didn't we?
Sorry, what was that?
I said Newcastle wore them as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Black armbands.
Yeah. Fair play to him. You know what I mean? Fair play to him. I mean, and it's he's sad, but wow. And he's one of our own. He was one of our own.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. One thing I love about us Arsenal fans is that, Joyce, we love our academy players, and we always wish them the best. When they go on to
have a career,
other careers, and so, mate. Yeah, we need to stop this XG nonsense. We watch football. I mean, I mean,
I don't care.
What's your take on XG, Aulia?
Who? Me? Oh,
all of you. Yeah, I'll start with you.
Well, I think the XG is the biggest load of keep it PG crap. Honestly, I don't understand why it just was brought in like XG, expected goals, and then another one as well that annoys me. In transition, no, it's a counter attack. Why change it?
I am guilty of that one. I am guilty of the in transition.
It's a counter attack.
Okay, so when you're saying about the counter attack, that was going from defense to attack in that movement. I think because there are different, they've now got these different phases in play, and so when you're watching it live, you can see how the formation. You know how we line up, and it's traditionally like a 4-3-3 is how our formation gets described. But when you're actually sat there watching it, I found it quite nervy to begin with because I'm looking at our centre backs and there's two at the back, like we're defending a corner, and we're just attacking. And the way that it molds and all the rest of it, and how those players, so. There was a couple of times we got caught out, and there was one time when Timber was jogging back rather than running back, and there was a couple of moments like that. And it is that when they're trying to take up their new position, and I get what they mean, they're trying to give a definition to a moment, to a phase, I guess. And that's where this in transition comes from, rather than just it being a counter attack. So I do get where you're coming from, though. It's a bit like this new freaking coffee shop sort of, in transition, and then let's discuss the XG. And XG is all interpretation of some geek's view of what a chance is.
Yeah. Stop. Mike changing the game. The game's gone. The game's gone.
What about yourself, Michael?
Yeah, agree. I think they just want to make stats and like American football, like the American sports. They have so many different categories and metrics and stuff like that. And I just think they're just trying to make the game like that as well. There's so many different things that you can find on these websites, and some of it's just like bled over into games that we watch now. They pump it out, don't they, and everything. They add it on their stats and stuff, and you just want to know, did you win or not, and how many chances did you have, and stuff like that, and shots on goal, shots on target. That's enough for me. And we know possession now is just, he can't. He doesn't tell you anything about the game anymore, does it? And it's just about if you've won the game or not, how many shots and how many shots you've had, how many shots on target, and that's it basically. XG is just another. It's just hipsters way of analysing the game now. And I think that's what they've.
I felt our play into Gyökeres was better today. Instincts. What did you guys think? I felt like we were trying, that ball that Port Vale, Max Dowman, he instinctively played that ball around, right? He saw the run played it. I felt we were a bit better, not quite that level, but I felt we were a bit better giving him centre forward stuff to do, putting the balls into him a little bit more. He told our play.
It was just quicker. We just played the ball quicker to him. I think I think that was the main difference, and I think that was because Eze was there as well. Playing the ball a lot quicker, and that's what he wants. He wants it, and he looked as quick as he has been. He has since he's been there, because he's already on the move. And once the balls get played into space, he's not got a standing start. He's actually moving, and he's actually got that
unit, isn't
preparation. And I just think that's what we need to do. We need to play to his strengths. He needs to adjust a little bit, but I just think we moved the ball a lot quicker. And I liked what I saw with some of the link up and the way he was holding the ball up and laying it off to Saka and the other side as well. It was really good. It's really promising. I think his performance today was really good, apart from maybe just getting that shot away in the second half, which he sort of double touched and went over. But I thought that was probably the best all-round performance, I think, from him that I've seen since he's been here. And I think it's just because we're getting the ball to him a little bit quicker. We just need to keep doing that.
100%. I mean, I still feel that I still think overall, all competitions this season, I think he'll get at least 25 goals.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I mean, he's not going to get a Gabriel Jesus figure, that's for sure. You know what I mean? I just can't see it seriously. You know what I mean? But but AFC, yeah, Igal thought it was Igal, yeah. It was 6. I thought he said he won 5. So 6 League Cups. You want to say Igal thought RVP came through Arsenal's academy. Yeah, I thought that. You see, what I don't like what he does is, right, is that it's when others correct him about Arsenal history and he knows he's wrong, he'll make out that he's not wrong, and that's what I don't like. You see,
doubles down rather than own it. Yeah,
I haven't got a problem with any Arsenal fans have corrected me on stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Simple. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, no biggie.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would love Arteta to prove me wrong. I just don't think he's the right manager to get us over the line. I mean, we've all spoke about this many times. I mean, for me, I think he can. I'm not so sure, but I want him, like AFC, I want him to prove me wrong. But what it is, I think what's made a difference now is that he's got, apart from the left-hand side, the left wing, he's got strength and depth. And I think we're very lucky with injuries at the moment because I think we've only got 4 players out. So I think if he makes the right team selections and we go to places like White Hart Lane and Stamford Bridge, the Etihad, and if he goes with an attacking lineup, because I think we can win at those grounds. You know what I mean? Because we're always going to be solid at the back. You know what I mean, guys? And I think maybe he can get us over the line, but as we know, we do need to win a trophy this season.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah.
I'll take a treble.
I don't think the FA Cup or the League Cup saves his job. I don't think the FA Cup or the League Cup saves his job.
No.
I think he's gone.
Yeah.
You know what? I agree, and I think the reason why that is as well. I think it's not so much from us fans, because as much as we don't mind seeing a cup double, and if we were to say finish second in the league and then got knocked out of the semi-finals of the Champions League, it would still be a successful season for me because you've won something. You've won something too. But I think you're right. You're right, Dylan, because I actually think it would be the board that will look at it and think, well, in a minute, we spent all this money and we won 2 cups, but that's not what we wanted. So that respect, definitely. You know what I mean? So let's get this off.
I mean, I'm not Arteta in or out. I'm not Arteta in or out. I'm an Arteta skeptic, and I would love him to deliver because I'm an Arsenal fan. So we win either way. You know, I think Damien put it right. If you're in or out, sometimes it can block you from giving praise when due and critique when it's not. You know, and I think he was wise to say that, and I've held on to that ever since he put that in the group WhatsApp chat.
See, that's my brother. He's a very wise person.
Yeah, he is. He is.
And he said something. I don't even think I've even discussed it with him, but he said something a few weeks ago, which he was spot on, right? And it was about it was about possession, right. And there were times where there was a game early in the season where our possession, I think, was about 73, 74%. But then he mentioned that most of the possession that we had, it was just playing it sideways across the back four.
Inconsequential areas.
Yeah. So when you look at a game, regardless whether we won or drawn it, for example, or lost it, and we've had more possession, that's what we're seeing a lot. And I don't have an issue seeing that if you're under pressure, if you're getting pressed by the opposition, then I don't mind seeing that. But sometimes we're playing the ball back to Raya when we're not even pressed. you know, and that is very, very, very frustrating.
But that's because the movement on the front line needs to be better.
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes it's like England of the early 2000s, where the players were very fast players, and they would progress to the back line, get stuck, and then we weren't progressing the ball fast enough, and then they were stuck up against defenders with no movement, and it was just boring backwards and sideways all the time. And I feel like that's a trap that we get stuck in, where sometimes if you're going to play it all the way back, team drops and then hit them with movement and speed, and we've just got to mix it up a little bit better. But we've got to try and run in behind a few times. We've got to try and drop off. There's just got to be a little bit more dynamic movement with our forward line sometimes.
Yeah, I'll totally agree. But AFC always got to head off now. Oh no, big up to you, man. We'll catch up on another stream soon. You know, and if anything, you're always welcome here. You know that, even not just in the chat, but come on stream one day, and we'll definitely have a show. So big up to you, AFC. Have a good one, man. Have a good one. Yeah. So one thing I will bring up as well, and Dylan, I want to come to you first, and I'm going to ask you all three. I had to get this in, right? Mikel Merino, where the hell does he play? Or where should he play? I mean, come on. I mean, this guy, for me, my opinion, bench, but it always seems to come on and do something. When you're starting a game, it's like he doesn't know where he is. But then what's your take on Mikel Merino?
Can I give my honest answer, or will I just, keep it calm? Because my honest answer would be back in Sociedad.
Oh, you can be truthful. You don't have to lie about it.
Look, he did a job for us that season. Obviously, when we had no centre forward, he did decent enough as well when we played Real Madrid as well in the Champions League. At this moment, where us obviously bringing in Eze, Zubimendi, it doesn't fit. When Havertz comes back, Havertz can play where he plays. You know what I mean? I think he come on today and play as a second striker. I don't even know what way he had the formation before we scored. It was I couldn't tell you. Just like everyone was everyone was everywhere. But his best position, I think, is a second striker. Right behind the Ocaras. He's not good box to box. He's too slow. He turns like a truck.
Yeah.
To me, second striker, not like a 10, but like a centre forward and then your striker, it'd be like right behind Jokeres, say, if you're playing like a 4-4-1-1, like in a sense.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I mean, guys, what do you all think, Michael?
Yeah, I agree with Dylan. I think he's best. He's best to come off the bench if we need another body in the box. Like we're chasing the game. That's what's happened. Probably chuck him in. Maybe Carabao Cup games. And again, I'm not sure he is suited to the Premier League because he's not athletic enough, which is really surprising when you think of the players of that profile that Arteta's bought over the years who are athletic and can get up and down and whatever. And as Dylan said, he's so slow. He's just not got that. He looks like he's gassed after 40 minutes. He looks like he's blown out of his arse. He just doesn't look fit at all. I think once everyone's fit, he's going to struggle to get any minutes. And you've got to think today, that bench, look at how good that bench looked today. And Ethan wasn't there. Ethan wasn't there. Obviously, Havertz wasn't there as well because obviously, he's injured Madueke, so he's going to struggle big time to get any minutes when everybody's fit. So, I'd say for now, he's definitely someone you chuck in, if you're chasing the game, really.
Yeah. No, definitely. Nick, right yourself, mate.
Yeah, I agree with the lads. In midfield, he's taking Miles's minutes, and I want Miles to have those minutes. In attack, it'll be Havertz's minutes, and I want Havertz to have those minutes. He is your everything else has gone wrong. I'm throwing him on and just create chaos in the box after the 80th minute. That's what he is. And I just feel like Arteta is justifying the transfer fee by using him more than is necessary. And I don't want to do a disservice to him, but what the guy said, the passing's too sideways and backwards as just a natural reaction, regardless of what's immediately in front of him. So, yeah, it is more of that 80th minute sub to create chaos in the box because there are two other players that I want to see in the starting lineup in two different areas before him.
Yeah. Fair play, man. Fair play. But just before we crack on with just a quick Champions League thing with Olympiacos, we're playing at home, isn't it? Yeah, Wednesday. We never really spoke about him as such in full length, but Dylan, I'll start with you. Eberechi Eze, how good is this guy? And I thought he had a really good game today.
Do you remember? Yeah, but do you remember the clip that was going around? I forget who said it, but you remember he was describing Dennis Bergkamp. He said if you walk around in the snow, he wouldn't leave any footprints. I think it was on Matthew one of them today. I can't think of it. Yeah, but that's the kind of way Eze plays. Like I was looking at him today. You never see him fully sprint. It's just kind of like a little trot here, pass, little trot there, pass, and a little flick or a nice little turn, and he's just so good. It's exactly what we need. It's just as much and all. It's like the guy can be very hit and miss. I think if Eze starts getting the grasp on what way we play and up to speed and everything, I think slowly but surely Odegaard's gone. I can see it in my eyes anyway.
Yeah,
I think Eze's too good to leave in the bench. And this is only Ben said he's not good enough to play in the wing, but in the middle, he is world class.
Yeah, I agree. He is. He's just an incredible talent. I mean, for me, I said already, he just makes playing football look so easy. And his first touch is great. His second touch is immaculate. It's like, wow. You know, I'll tell you what, he's become one of my favourite players already. I mean, Michael, what about yourself? Eze?
Yeah, I agree. I haven't watched the full interview he did before the game, and he was talking about Arteta and being at the club and how much he's learned and taken on board and everything, and how he's kind of opened up his mind a bit. And it was almost like exactly what Rice said, you know, when he joined, you know, exactly the same thing. So, but I think, he's just adds a different dimension. I still can't believe he's still our player after watching him so many years and being the favourite, you know, one of the most favourite players to watch that weren't an Arsenal player. You know, always loved watching him when he was at Palace and he's here, obviously with his backstory and everything. And it's just so good to see him play like he did today. I just wish one of those shots went in. One of those shots he had in the first half. You know, again, it's just a threat. You know, we don't see Odegaard doing stuff like that, being that threat in that sort of position. So yeah, man, just a really good performance. You know, following up what he did midweek against Port Vale with his goal and everything. So yeah, I bet you can't wait for Wednesday. You know, Champions League game at the Emirates. You know, first home one, and just hope he gets a good chance in that to start that, because I think he'll ball out in that as well.
100%. Nick?
For me, Eze is brilliant performance. I think he gets better the moment we've got this left sorted, because it's viable. It makes him even more unpredictable as to which way he's going to feed. His relationship with Gyökeres is important that Arteta gives that time to develop, because he's been playing with Mateta for the last couple of seasons. And so feeding the big guy is something he's accustomed to. And that's what we've got to get. We've got to get those two working. I've got to say, I liked seeing, for the small sample that I saw, Odegaard in the deeper 8 when he came on. I thought some of the passing and that sort of the way that we press and having him as the final pivot of the attack right at the base, I thought that worked for Odegaard as a substitution. And the way that we was coming and he was able to ping here, there, and everywhere, I thought that was good. On Eze, I'm just cannot wait, boys. I can't wait to see. Hopefully, Madueke comes back as that first 5-game Madueke. Yeah. But him, Saka, and Eze doing their thing and maybe interchanging and all the rest of it. Oh my gosh, guys, it is going to be freaking epic. I mean, I always post. Do you all know the cat meme I post on the Discord chat?
Oh yeah,
what's that chat, right?
Yeah.
That's me right now talking about them three. Them three are just. You just need to.
Oh yeah, because I thought that was a Coronation Street cat.
You just need to just go play. We need to Wenger that. Just go and express yourself. Interchange. Do what you need to do. Your one mission, boys. F the system. Go out there and terrorize that defense.
Yeah.
Gyökeres, just be around that, outside 6-yard box. That's where we need you. The boys are going to find you. Go cook. And that is it. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. With the defensive base they've got behind them, that should be it. Those three together should rip teams apart. I can't wait once they've been. But then Arteta needs to give them game time. He needs to pick them 3 or 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
Needs to give them time to chemistry.
Definitely agree with that. You know what I mean? And so basically on to Wednesday quickly. Dylan, what are you looking at? We're looking at for Wednesday. We're at home, Olympiacos. We have 3 points already. Do you think it would be the same side as today, or do you think there'll be changes made? What do you reckon?
He'll make changes, 100%. He'll make changes. I think you might see Martinelli ahead of Trossard. I have a feeling we might see Mosquera or Ben White play. But I think for the rest of it, I think Eze has to start over Odegaard. I think obviously Saka will play Royce, Zubimendi. I'd actually like to see. I know Odegaard's not fit, but as you were saying there, Mick, about Odegaard playing that deeper 8 role, I'd like to see either Zubimendi or Royce get a rest.
Yeah.
And see how it works. And like I know Arteta's not going to do it because it's Arteta, but if say he put that on for the first half and it wasn't working, okay, let's change it up then. Absolutely. But he's obviously going to go with Merino, Royce, Zubimendi in the midfield. Because obviously Eze got a game today, so now it's Marino's turn on Wednesday. But I reckon it'll be an easy win. I reckon probably I'm hoping that it's going to be a high scoring game, 4-5. Yeah. Honestly, I am there because I think.
4-0, 5-0. What do you reckon? 4-0 or 5-0, mate?
I'd like a 5-0. Gyökeres 2 or 3. I'd like Eze to score as well, to be honest with you. I think it'd be good for Conor, but I think Gyökeres is at the stage now where he needs a goal. Yeah. Because he needs that confidence booster.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I actually think we will see quite a few goals, and there probably will be changes with West Ham in mind. But then when I look at a few of the changes now, I'm not going to moan about it because I now feel we do have that squad to make 2 or 3 changes, and we can still get a result. And I've this is the first time in years I've been more comfortable with that, and I'm sure you guys feel the same. I mean, Michael, what's your take on the Olympiacos game? What do you think Arteta will do in terms of making changes, or how do you think?
I think he'll bring probably Martinelli in for Trossard, and then Dylan's not going to like this, but I think he will probably end up playing Merino because he scored, and and because he's probably thinking it's a European game. Yeah.
Graham is gone.
He's probably thinking it's a European game. It's going to be a little bit slower, so he might be able to do well there. So I wouldn't be surprised if he starts, and then he probably give Gyökeres 60 minutes just so he keeps him, ready for West Ham at the weekend and stuff. So a couple of changes. He'll probably give Saka another run out again. Hopefully he'll get Max on at some point so we can get the record. I'm really that was the only annoying thing in the game match day 1 that he just didn't throw him on for 5 minutes.
2-0 up, throw him on.
Just put him on, get him the record. But I'm hopeful he'll do it on a midweek on Wednesday, and I think 3-0, solid 3-0 win, and move on. We've got Atletico after that as well, so that's going to be a bit tasty. So
I'm worried about them.
Yeah.
Are we playing them at home?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. Well, don't fancy playing them from home.
I used to work at Arsenal, and when we played him in the semi-final in the Europa League, when he got sent off, and he got sent off, and Simeone got sent off.
Yeah.
And he went up to the director's box, and he was standing up there with one of his staff, and the way he was acting on the touchline, he was acting at the back of the director's box. So you imagine that everyone's looking around at him like that, scared shitless to say anything. And I was standing next to him, next to another steward, and it was, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I wanted to watch him, but I didn't want to catch eyes with him because I figured this guy is an absolute mentalist. And and then when and I was up there when Griezmann went through. Was it Griezmann that went through and scored the equaliser? I think it was. And he just went berserk, and he was screaming the place down, and like all the Arsenal directors box was just like all silent, didn't dare turn around and look at him. And he's an absolute mentalist, and
wow,
apparently that's who Berta wants to come and take over. So it's going to be interesting.
I'm all for it.
It will be interesting.
He'll never. These refs, he'll be red carded all the time. He'll never be on the touchline.
Yeah. Just Nick, as you mentioned, the red card. Did he not get sent off first game in the Champions League?
I can't remember.
I think he did. I think he got sent off last Champions League game. Straight red.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he did. So he'd be missing. Would he not be missing then when we played him?
Oh, maybe.
No, because was it only a 1-game ban?
I don't know. It was a straight red, so I don't know,
It was a straight red. I don't. You know what? Then I don't know how many games it is because obviously, if it is a 2-game, then he wouldn't be allowed on the touchline against us. So because he's very influential, and I just hope it is a 2-game ban because he won't be on the touchline.
He'll be in the director's box again. This guy again. He's come back again.
Oh gosh, it'd be like, where was that guy a few years ago who wanted to kick me like David Beckham did in '98? The way I was carrying on. Looking for you, mate.
I just googled it. It's a 1-match ban, so he'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh, he will be back.
He misses this game, but he'll be back for us.
Right. So Nick, Wednesday, what's your take on it?
I think we should be 3-0 winners for me. I think that's roughly where it'll be. I think we might get 1 or 2 first half, and then it might be just one of those where there's too many changes, a bit disjointed, and we just don't kick on like you think we should kick on. I want to see, I hear you with Max. I want to see Miles get some minutes. I'm desperate for our boy to start kicking on.
Yeah.
That's why when we're talking about Marino, that's the biggest thing, because I feel whatever you want to have a discussion with Marino, I don't want to create an agenda and I don't want to hate on one of our players. But if you're turning around and we're going to sit here and talk and say what Marino offers the team, other than putting the ball in the back of the net in that sort of crazy second striker sort of thing, I'm talking midfield. Miles does everything better.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
100%.
And more of an engine. He takes it forward. Those games against Real Madrid is everything that you need to know when it comes to Miles. I want to see Miles on this pitch. I want to see him playing. I want to see him in the left 8. I don't mind using Merino to limit the load for Zubimendi and Rice for the weekend. Don't mind him coming on and kind of holding that down. But I would rather we use Norgard for that, because I feel like he's far more adept. I'm looking at I'm being a bit disrespectful because they're not a bunch of mugs. They've got some good players, Olympiacos, but I'm looking for us to put it to bed and then to be able to use our squad and be professional and manage the situation. That's what I'm looking for.
No, fair play. But as you know, Temi was in the chat watching now about my Odegaard agenda is back. He's a reverse psychologist, a really good one he is as well. You know, right now, Temi, what's your score prediction for Wednesday? He's probably going to put 3-0 to Olympiacos, but it actually means 3-0 to Arsenal. So
whatever works for Temi, whatever works.
I'm telling you. But no, guys, man, it's been really good. It's been really good tonight, and I think it's been this is actually my 4th stream of the day, and it's been something. I'm not even tired. I'm still buzzing. I'm buzzing from the whole day. I think when you've had a win, it was when you've had it was a statement win today, But then because I'm a bit greedy, and I think for some of us, what I mean by that is you just feel that last week, if we'd have beaten City right now, we'd be top of the league. So
that's crazy from that start. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's when we lost. Also, go on, Brendan. Sorry, go on.
Exactly that. Because the Liverpool game, to be honest, I didn't even think it was a great game, and it was looking like a 0-0. You know what I mean? But I think we still could have. I know it's come and gone now. You know what I mean? But we could have had a strong lineup. But I think the manager now is looking at it thinking, you know what? I think he believes he has got a squad, and he's got players that he could trust.
Yeah.
Now with the addition we've got, you know what I mean? And I think he does believe in that. But I mean, it's what it is. Right now we are in a title race, you know what I mean? And we've just got to keep going. That's all we can do. But listen, gonna end it here as well. Fortunately, some of us have got work tomorrow. But don't get me wrong. I don't mind my job, but I do like my job. But just sometimes you just feel you just want to chill Monday after a game like this. You know what I mean?
We can give you a doctor's note if you want. You know, we can give you permission not to go into work tomorrow.
No, I can't do it. Mate. Can't do it. Sorry. No. You know what? It's actually, to be honest, in my profession, it's the best job I've ever had. So and I'm
awesome.
grateful. You know what I mean? But, just before we go, just another from Temi as well. See, there you go.
He's back. He's with us.
Oh dear. Oh, psychological. See it there. See it there.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Mind you, I think if it was Saliba that did get a straight red, we probably would still win with 10 men.
Yeah.
But thank you all to Nick, and thank you, Michael and Dylan. Dylan, I know it's your first time on here, isn't it, as well, mate? And you guys are welcome on any time as well, and
enjoyed it.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
no problem.
And yes,
for having me.
No, you're welcome. And but where can everybody find you, Dylan?
Basically, as it says there on the bottom, Fear the Cannon. That's my YouTube channel. I'm hoping to get to 50 subscribers so I can start live streaming. It's so dumb that I can't. But I actually emailed YouTube support today after we watched the match to see if they'd start letting me live streaming, but they're saying 50 subscribers. So basically, in a PG way, I'm on my knees for 50 subs.
Well, you're on 15 now. You're on 15, so you only need 35.
Yeah. Come on.
But you know what's funny? Do you know what's funny, Dylan? I was linking with other channels and stuff. The stream when I didn't even have 50 yet. And
yeah, I don't know because I tried sharing. Yeah, I don't know. I tried sharing Bobby's stream earlier on, and I wouldn't let me. So,
you know, yeah. But Michael on for his debut. My left winger, my Robert Perez, my Anders Limpar. Thank you for coming on. Yeah, see how I didn't even call you Glenn Helder, man. I'd never call you that. Oh my gosh, man, you got more class than that. You know what I mean? But Michael, where can we find you, my friend?
I've been called Dion Dublin a lot, so I wouldn't have
really
said that. But yeah,
you're better looking.
I'll thank
you. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. They should have him on Homes Under the Hammer, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Who needs Dublin? Who needs Dion Dublin when we've got it? BBC, come and get this gentleman. Sorry, man. You were saying.
That's all right, man. No, I appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me on. You really loved it. Thanks again, Nick and Dylan. Nice to meet you, man, and to hear from you as well. Obviously, yeah, my show, Arsenal Above All, and we'll be doing a show tomorrow night. Obviously, talking about what we talked about here and everything else. So yeah, it's been going well, and just it's just a good outlet. You know, I think it's just a good outlet to talk to fellow-minded Gooners, especially when I kind of built it. I think it was around just off the back of the pandemic, and it was all like, you know, not be able to talk to people and mental health and everything, and trying to just keep on top of things. And it's been a good outlet, and just continued with it. And yeah, really appreciate all the support and everything. And again, just appreciate you inviting me on tonight, and hope to have you guys, all of you, on for future shows if you don't mind. So that'd be great.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I enjoyed this last time. Last week was really good. And yeah, like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe to these guys and to the legend that is Nick. Where can they find you, mate?
Supporting my fellow Gooners. You know, if there is a Gooner out there that needs just somebody to fill the screen with, I'm here. You know, I do bar mitzvahs, holidays. You know, it doesn't matter. Anytime you need me, I'm here. Rent a Gooner. That's what I am.
That's brilliant, man.
I'm anybody's part. You know. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Even at Christmas, you be the wedding, the Arsenal wedding planner as well. You know, I'm getting the mic and yeah,
absolutely.
You know, why not, mate? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, that means you are Kenny Ken, because Kenny Ken has. I think he's got Instagram. I think he's just got Instagram now. He had an X, right, but he doesn't have his channel, and he goes from channel to channel.
Well, I've got the family channel. That's like 21K, but that's practically dead because I kind of lost the will, got ill, and lost the will to keep pushing it. And the boy wants to start it up and do gaming, and 21K.
21K.
Wow.
Yeah, and so so eventually I might get something. We might do a thing with that, but I want to do my own Gooner thing as well. But that is more get you guys on. This is a subject, record off, and I'm going to post videos and occasionally stream. I like getting on with you guys on your channels to do the streams. With me, it'll be, let's discuss. That'll be like a 15-minute thing, video up, and that will be my own thing that I'm going to do.
Bless, man. Bless. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. And we've got a few other things coming this week as well. And hopefully myself and Nick will be on streams with Dermo and Chris and a few of the other guys as well. We'll probably do a Champions League match reaction review later in the week. So we'll take from there. And there won't be no United fans on the channel, unfortunately, for the Champions League shows, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, what can you do, eh?
Just
I had to get that in. You know how many United fans have battered me over the years?
It's all good. It's all good, man.
It's something else, man. But listen, man, like the words of Jerry Springer, the late Jerry Springer, take care of yourself and each other. Take care.
Good luck. Bye bye.